Okay guys, Mike with Turning Point Survival here. Today we're going to go over making a camp tool called a Maul. Pretty simple to make, depending on how big you want to make it. Depends on the length and the diameter of however big you want it. And what makes it simple is if you use your bow saw and only go as deep all the way around. You can kind of measure your depth to a certain extent with that. Okay, now once you get past that, get that done, lower this down a little bit for you. You'll want to baton through the piece because this creates a stop cut. You want to go all the way around. This will create a stop cut. You're only going to split this out however far, come on, get out of here, however far your cut goes. Now you can use a variety of things. You can use froze, you can use a hatchet, but Pathfinder Scorpion, this is oak. It is a hardwood, so I'm not going to be trying to take very big pieces off at a time. Now, as you see, that went down right to our cut and then chipped off. And you just go around, you continue on around, and this will form your handle. And continue. And with these pieces here, you want to, and yes, I'm using essentially a Maul to make a Maul, but this could be just any stick. I mean, that is not, that's not very big around. This weighs nothing. This could be any stick off the ground, as long as it's good and solid. I mean, if you're cutting a piece for this, try and cut you a piece for this. You want it live. It can be dead, but not to the extent of, you want a good sturdy piece because you're going to be banging. But these pieces here, you're going to have chunks like this that while you're at it, you can just go ahead and split those down. Now you see there is nothing other than I got there's no chips or nothing in this, and that blade is as straight as the day I bought it. A lot of people say, oh, them Pathfinder knives are expensive, but they're worth every bit you pay for them. And I mean, they would tell you, hey, probably not a good idea to bash it through oak. But as you can see, that's oak. Now see on that piece, I went a little bit farther than deeper than what my cut was. But work that around and you'll pop that off. But I'm going to pause it so that way you ain't got to sit here and watch me just beat on this entire thing. I'll be right back here with you. Okay. Now when you get your get everything down where you want it, I mean, the handle's yours to make. Make it, if you want it, more beefy, make it more beefy. If you want it, smaller, make it smaller. But once you get it down to everything shaped, you got a lot of rough grain on there. You then come back and smooth down your handle. You can do this with the cutting edge of your knife, or you can get down here, use the back of your knife, and really get after it. And even just using the back of my knife, I mean, you can, come on, focus, you can see the difference. I mean, you could run your tongue on that and you ain't got nothing to worry about, versus this. For this, you're gonna get a splinter. But now everybody's like, hey, what, why would I do that when I could just pick up a stick? You could. I mean, you certainly could. You could pick up a stick and go to town with it. But it gives you a nice little camp project. They're fun to make, super simple. And while you're doing this, just in the short time, I mean, I've got all these pieces here that can now be done from a fire. And you can take that, you can take those and take your knife, take your maul, and as you can see, that makes splitting up stuff a lot easier. Be a lot easier if if my little rotten stump worked out. And you have even more. And I mean, you can split these down as small as you wanted them. I mean, you could even, now you watch me just beat this through a chunk of oak. Not real big on feather sticks, but I've had this for several months now, not sharpened it once, and it'll still do the feather sticks. Like I said, you just watch me beat it through a hard piece of oak. And as in hard piece of oak, I cut this last year. I mean, there's the end of it. This is just fresh because you just seen me cut into it. But I mean, I cut this down last year, and it's sitting out there. I just cut a piece off of it. But let me see if I can get up a little bit closer here. But I mean, it'll just, I mean, you can do feather sticks with this puppy all day, and I just bashed it through a piece of hardwood, and it's still sharp. Now, keep in mind that while I absolutely love this knife, if I'm going to sit here and try and carve a spoon, I can't take a knife this size and carve a spoon with it. It is not designed for real fine carving tasks. If camp carver works pretty well. The original Camp and Trail, I absolutely love that knife. It's a great little carving knife. The Mora Elderus works pretty good, but you're not gonna hurt this thing. Don't be afraid, Now, I mean, honestly, should you be beating on it like that? No. I mean, you really shouldn't. This will take the abuse, though. Like I said, you watch me on video bash it through a piece of about halfway seasoned oak, and no worse for wear. Super love this knife, but keep in mind that whatever knife you buy, they all have a design intent to them. Now, could you skin an animal with this? You could. There's going to be knives out there that work a lot better. But, I mean, whatever knife you got, it's the knife you got, depending on your chosen task. But, carry a smaller knife. As in, I apologize. Apparently the cat has decided to come in here and help. But, alright, come on. Get out of here. But something like the Mora Eldris, however you pronounce that. They have a phenomenal spine on them that would clean this up, no problem, and do the other fine carving, as in wanting to get in here and remove some edges. But you know, any old pocket knife will work for that. I mean, get in there and just take your pieces off and keep going on around. But at any rate, that is how you make a maul. Super fun, super simple, and if you're frustrated, make one. I mean, what's more fun than bashing, you know, a piece of wood? But alrighty, guys. Hey, do me a favor. Any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comments. A lot of people have been emailing questions, and it kind of kills the video. So if you could leave your questions in the comments. If you could like the video, that'd be a huge plus. I do apologize. Somehow this has turned into an 11-minute video. I did not mean for that to happen. But like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your dog. This is Mike with Turning Point Survival. I will see you next time.